Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. And it's such a lovely sunny day here. And my absolute apologies. Somehow I kind of got four invites on my Zoom. So I kind of like we're jumping from the one to the next. So apologies for that. Okay. So global marketing is it's such an exciting a topic, especially now in the COVID era. So I had this very nice presentation ready for you, but for some reason my computer has totally kicked me out. So I'm actually using my mobile now to chat to you. And what I will do is I will send you the presentation after we finish because I still cannot get onto Zoom from my PC. I'm not sure why. So, okay. So in terms of global marketing, I mean, you guys have done just the normal marketing, I'm sure. So I want this to be an interactive session, and I want you guys to please ask questions and to participate because it's not very nice to stand on the to stay on the other end and constantly just chat away. So in terms of global marketing or marketing per se, I just want to know. So what do you guys understand by marketing? Yeah, postgrad students, you have done part of marketing. So just tell me, anybody, just tell me what exactly is marketing? What is it? Why do we do it? Why do
I want
companies do it?
I want all of you to participate because I'm noting it down whosoever is participating as well. So all of you participate in the lecture.
Yeah. If just at least one of you can tell me or just give me an idea of what you think global marketing is
Ma'am,
about, that's great.
marketing can be an activity a company undertakes to promote buying or selling of a product or service.
Absolutely, 100%. So in the same way, like a company in India would just undertake to do that marketing, so too, if that company wants to go global, it's going to apply pretty much the same principles, but because it's going to be on an international platform, there are a few more things that the company needs to add to that. Okay. So what we will do, we will start with at least what exactly is global marketing, a small definition for you, which I'm sure a lot of you already have done some research into. Okay, so marketing, global marketing is marketing on a worldwide scale. It is done in different countries. It is reconciling or taking commercial advantage of global operational activities. Some of them have similarities, some have differences, and of course, the opportunities that are there in order to meet your global objective. So when you as a company has decided, okay, so I've kind of like, exhausted the market locally or in my own country or like in India, for example, and you want to go global, then you have a new objective now. We want to go global, like you want to do business in South Africa and all other different countries. So that is what the definition is. Okay. So in the past, global marketing was mainly the domain of multinational companies. But today, with so much of challenge, so much of dynamics, globally in business, companies, even the tiniest company, can actually go global if they so choose. Okay. With the emergence of the internet and e-commerce, even the smallest firm can get across the globe. So basically, in essence, any company, even if you're a little startup, the world is basically your oyster. You can do whatever you want. You can operate wherever you want. Okay. So what exactly is marketing? In addition to just a definition of marketing, it's the global mixing. It's your global marketing mix on depending on various regions. It's how much it is standardized. It is how much you're adapting to your local country, your host country, and also their taste, their customs, and everything that goes with it. So obviously, if you're operating in India, it's going to be a total different mindset if you decide to do business in South Africa because we are totally different in so many ways. We have different cultures and stuff like that. So you need to really work on your global marketing mix. So now talking about the marketing mix. Okay, there's also a global marketing mix. So just give me an idea if you guys at least have an idea of what the marketing mix is all about. Come, guys, this is such an amazing subject. Going global is like so great. I'm doing it now. I'm going global. So this is
What is
I'm
what
doing
is
it.
what is what is the marketing mix is all about?
So marketing mix is comprised of product, price, place, promotion, and through these four elements of marketing mix, we create an advertisement or promotion for our product or service for the company.
That's absolutely perfect. So those are the four key essentials of the marketing mix. But from that four essentials, it's kind of like expanded. I think there's about seven more. There's also like, physical evidence. There's about the people. There's the processes that are in place. So that's kind of added to the four key marketing mixes. Okay. So when you go global, you're focusing on that key and the additional as well. So the whole process then is that you're planning, you are producing, you are placing and promoting a company's products globally. Okay. So if I'm going too fast or you don't understand, please do stop me. Okay. This must be interactive because you guys must enjoy it. It's like a fantastic, fantastic time where we are in global marketing. Right. So there's two things now. So there's a global marketing definition, and then there's an international marketing. So what do you guys think is the difference between the two, global marketing and international marketing? Any guesses? What do you think is the difference?
You can reply, any one of you.
Anybody? Yes. Just take a guess if you're not sure. Just
What
guess.
what is the difference between global marketing and international marketing and domestic marketing? Sorry.
Oh yeah, we can add domestic to that too. We can do a three-way comparison.
No one?
So international marketing can be of related to the marketing strategies applied beyond the geographical boundary we are living in, and
Yeah.
global marketing could be, it is my guess actually. So global marketing could be related to all over the world. The marketing is being considered.
Absolutely. Well, you're on the right track. Okay, so then let's do your local marketing. Your local marketing will be you guys who are like based in India. So your only marketing platform then is only just India. Okay, your local marketing, or maybe just only the state that you are in. Okay, when you go global, global is where the entire world is your marketplace for your company. There's basically hardly difference in the products because you have the same product in every single country. There's no differentiation in product. So whatever product you're selling in India, you're sending it to the US, you're sending it to Africa, you're sending it to Australia and wherever. So that's the global marketing. So international marketing, however, is a little bit different because that then becomes country specific because the marketing strategies are designed to meet the local market. So for example, let's take this here. So in India, let's just talk about food because I love food. Okay, so let's talk about McDonald's burgers. So McDonald's will do a different marketing strategy in America. So they will make beef. But if McDonald's, okay, so when McDonald's moved to Dubai in the Middle East, they had to re-strategize because then the products had to be different because they're dealing with a different market where there's no pork. Okay, so so they introduced beef and chicken. Then when they moved to India, they obviously could not do beef and pork in India, so they also added to their variety vegetarian. So then they could at least adjust to the Indian market. And if they are in South Africa, of course, we are a very diverse country. Anything goes here. So they've got, like, if they've got the pea, they've got the chicken, they've got the beef, they've got the pork, they've got vegetarian. It's like a wild variety. So depending on the country, it's very specific to that local market. Okay, you guys understand the difference between the two. If you don't, please ask, then I can just explain again. So if we take like Apple, for example, introduces products that are used across every single country. There's uniformity, there's standardization, there's no difference in the product. So like the latest iPhone will have no difference whether it is sent to South Africa, to India, to Australia. It's going to be the exact same. Okay, but obviously if it's McDonald's, then it's going to differ. Okay, Vodafone, for example, Vodafone is country specific in terms of international marketing. So it's very specific, like to the Indian market. So if they do send it to South Africa, there's going to be a little bit of changes to our market. Do you understand that? Are we all together on this? Do I need to explain? Are we okay? Okay. I am assuming that you guys understand. Right. So what are the inherent benefits? What are good things? What are the advantages of going global as a corporate? Okay. When you go global, you have the entire globe is basically within your reach. Okay. There's free availability of the internet. You can reach, your business with like multiple folds. Companies like Alibaba, Amazon, they operate in China, and they manage to reach the world globally with the help of the internet. So that is why the internet, and especially now with our current COVID era, it's like the internet is like it's like the thing to have, and at our disposal to use. Okay. So ease of reach also helps in building your brand image when you have a wide array of customers across the globe. One of the other advantages, okay, is lower costs. So with common messaging which is done across the world, it reduces your cost because now you are using one specific platform. You're reducing your budget. You're not changing things because you're just using this one platform across the sphere. So that's the nice thing about global marketing. Okay, so it's reducing your cost because you are uniform. Okay, global feedback. So if America is selling to all the other countries and we are not happy, with some product with other, the nice part is that each one of us, individual countries, we are able to give them feedback so that they can again customize or work on whether it's customer issues, problems, marketing, whatever it is, so they can work on it. So the lower of cost is actually very good then. Okay, and the feedback. Overcoming time constraints, right? So this is actually very important because unlike the normal marketing that we have, we print days and they were, we were printing in the old days, and then it took forever for something to reach from India to America or to South Africa and vice versa. It was a whole snail mail process. Now we have got the internet, and the internet has just streamlined everything. So I just click a button, yep, and I'm chatting in India. I click on a button and I can go live and order something in India. So overcoming time has just become just so amazing in terms of global marketing, because we don't have snail mail anymore. Everything is just at the tip of our fingertips. Is there anything that you guys I don't understand about advantages? There's tons and tons of advantages. I'm just giving you the key advantages. And when you enjoy something like global marketing, you go back and you just do loads and loads of reading and research just to expand your knowledge base. Okay. So are we you guys understand? Are we on the same page? Do I need to explain anything else? Right. Okay. So while there are these wonderful inherent advantages of actually as a company going global, there are also a lot of disadvantages. Okay. So the first most important thing is the cultural barrier. So if I'm in South Africa and I want to operate in India, for example, okay. So I'm also Indian, but my grandparents came from India. So the culture here that I'm used to and adapt to in South Africa is totally different to the culture in India. So if I'm going to do business, which is currently what I'm doing, so I'm doing like online entrepreneurship education. So I cannot do the same program that I would do in South Africa in India, because the culture is totally different. The education, everything is different. So I need to adapt my lectures and the things that I'm going to do to the Indian market. Okay. So cultural barriers are like one of the most important things. And when global conglomerates, when they do not take this into consideration, that is when they start losing face in the host country. And then you find that some of them have to close shop because they are just not making headway in the host country. So cultural barriers are just so important, and we're always talking about this mutual trust and this respect for doing business in other countries. And that is absolute, inherent, and important in current day global marketing. Okay. So, not being able to develop products at all, you have this global organization, and then you figure out that like you haven't made enough products that are going to suit that host country. So that is where you are going to have huge problems because you haven't adapted to that specific market. Okay. So managing markets on a global scale is very challenging. It's like For example, like I said early on, so McDonald's had to adapt its market, like for the Arabic market, they had to adapt for the Indian market, they had to adapt like for the other general global markets. And so the same with like Burger King and KFC, and they had to follow the same trends in terms of their global marketing. Okay, because if they had only just stuck to their specific products, then they would be stuck in only their country. So because they have adapted their products to other countries, they're able to move. Okay. So also one of the disadvantages, you have a limited audience. Not everyone will be wanting the same product. They may not be suitable. So maybe the products that you are using in India might just not work here in South Africa, just won't be suitable here in South Africa. So in those cases, the company can cater only to a limited percentage, losing out basically on the chunk of like the bigger market out there. So for example, so most of business in the US may be only seeking to take coffee to work, okay, which is Starbucks. It's like an American thing. Everybody's like into coffee. However, here in South Africa, yes, we do like coffee, but it's not like a thing that we won't be able to do with that. The coffee thing is an American thing, they say. So Starbucks has done well in America.
Sorry, Dr. Shem, just to interrupt you. Like Starbucks, I've written many papers and I've studied about Starbucks. No, Starbucks, how they have changed and adopted the lifestyle of Chinese to become successful in China. They were not selling the tea, and they have introduced tea flavored coffee, and they have also provided the sitting space, which was not there in US or UK. So and there, Starbucks cafes have the paintings on the walls, Chinese paintings and all. I guess they want to show that we relate to you. So that's how it is.
Absolutely. And then also Starbucks also has it used to be Starbucks coffee only, but now it's changed because now they've added tea. They've added tea, so now when you go there, you have a variety. At least you're not limited to what only they are, they have in America. So in order for them to succeed globally, okay, for example, it did not take off in South Africa. Starbucks just did not take off in South Africa. I think there's probably only just only three in three different provinces here. It's because we are not coffee people, and also in terms of the pricing, and when you go global, you must be standardized. Like we are expecting whatever when you walk into a coffee shop in Seattle, Starbucks, you want to see the same thing, that same image in that coffee shop you want to see here in SA, and that's not happening. And when you go global, that standardization, that training of your employees, that is so important. And when you don't do that, then you fail as a global company. So it's not doing really, really well here in South Africa. We've just got 3. So in terms of Starbucks, then they have a lot of work still to be done. Okay, so those are some of the disadvantages. Okay, political and legal. Oh my goodness, that is becoming such a huge constraint. As countries become so political, they have such political turmoil, they have such legal constraints that kind of like prevents countries from wanting to do business with them. So like, for example, I simply love the Made in India concept. It's like the greatest thing India has done, the Made in India concept. However, if we in South Africa want to take our raw materials and we want to move into India, there are so much of constraints on that because the legislation is so much about everything being made in India and exporting. But now if we in South Africa want to export to India, there's going to be those legal barriers. So that is so important when you want to go global. You have got to think about the big picture as well. I mean, Made in India is excellent because it's going to drive the Indian economy locally. But when you want to you want to export your stuff overseas, and so like we in South Africa are going to say, but like you're only wanting to export yourself. What about the stuff that we in SA want to export to India? So those legislations and legal constraints and the political issues are huge in many of the developing countries. The BRICS countries like the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. We do have a lot of political turmoil happening, and we've got a lot of legislation that kind of like constraints global marketing. Okay, I still remember that that time when Trump was on. He said that make America great again, and so many companies like lost lost income and kind of like just went out of America because of this stance that he had made. So we have to be so careful about international, or should I say global marketing when it comes to political and legal issues. And of course, if you guys have done your macro environment and you've done your pestle analysis, your pestle, the political, the environmental, when you take all of those, I always say adapt that to global marketing, and then you will see global marketing in a total different dynamic. Okay, so one of the other disadvantages of global marketing is being able to manage inventory. So there are huge unused stocks, and when these huge unused stocks pile up, then the company is skyrocketing in terms of inventory costs because they are not making sales. And then also these can be some of this is due because like they kind of like they either underestimated what what the target market is out there, and they've developed and they have produced such a lot of inventory, and now they're sitting with it because it's not selling well. So that can also be a disadvantage because they have not marketed well. Okay, so that's now. So I've just given you an overview of advantages and disadvantages. So are there any questions in the meantime before we go to something else? Anything else? You guys want to, some of you maybe want to start your own businesses. You want to go global. You don't only want to operate in India.
Anyone wants to ask anything, you can ask.
Please do. This is such a great subject. You guys must be like, interactive. Okay. All right. So there's no questions. I'm assuming that you all know everything. Okay. So for example, if I tell you guys, okay, you develop your company and now you need to take that company globally. So just think at it from a logical point of view. What do you think will be the things or the process that you need to follow, or the things that you need to do to get your company global? What are things you can look at? I mean, like basic things. What would you be looking at, in the host country, or if you're deciding your mission and your vision of your company is to go global? What do you think you're going to look at? What will be important to you as an organization or company or operation? Questions? No
Guys,
questions. Comments?
please respond.
Okay, great. No interaction. Okay, so let me proceed. So the process of global marketing. So what actually happens is when global firms retain their reach, they have the knowledge and they have the staff, and they ensure that their company has a vision. You have a vision to be in your local market. You have a vision for your global market. So that vision of your organization must be able to reach your different countries. That vision must expand from where you are to where you want to be in the other companies. You can't change the vision now for India and then change another vision for South Africa. You've got to have a vision for your business, and that vision must be able to reach your host country. Okay. And in order for this to happen, the firms need to conduct, you need to do research. You need to research the host country. You need to research the target market. You need to research the competition in the target market. You need to know the laws of the target, or should I say the host countries. You need to know their policies, their procedures that they do in their host country. So you've got to do a lot of homework, a lot of background work, a lot of legwork before you can even decide to go global. At the end of this, if we have time, I will tell you about my tiny little company, okay? Right. Another major factor is that there are so much of religious and communal preferences of target markets. So the market in India is absolutely, I mean, when I'm looking at my global statistics, India has got 80% Hindu people in India. Okay. So the market in India is going to be so different to the market in South Africa because we are so diverse. Our country has not only got a lot of religions, but it's got a lot of races also. We don't only just have like Indians. I mean, Indians are like only like 1.5% or something of the population. We've got different races here. So it's so important to actually know the religious and the communal preferences of the market here if you want to operate here. The firm has to respect them and also make necessary adjustments for the products and services while maintaining homogenization in the offering. So like McDonald's, for example, they want to serve burgers, they want to serve their French fries. But when they come into India, they've got to ensure that they need to cater for the 80% Hindu market, where they also need to ensure that they have vegetarian, they have non-beef products as well. Okay, right. So for this, you also need to have to tie up with local organizations or obtain extra permits and licenses from authorities. So when I wanted to go global, when I wanted to operate in India, okay, so I'm actually I'm more like a social organization. But in order for me to operate in India, I had to ensure that I had a good, what do you say, like an agreement, good understanding with the local universities in India. So they understood me and understood the depth of my work and what I want to achieve in India. And when they thought that, okay, their vision ties in with mine, and then they said, okay, Charmaine, we'll give you a chance. We will let you do some work here for us. Okay. So you need to have that tie up with the local country or the local products or services in the country. Right. Um, very important. The next thing, so in terms of your marketing mix, so now is the pricing and the product. So the pricing and products are done country specific. So like, okay, in India, you're working on rupees. In South Africa, we're working on the rand. If you're working in the States, you're working on the US dollar. So your pricing has to be, you got to work on your pricing, and you also got to work on your product so that it's country specific. Okay. You're not going to charge me the price that you are going to charge in India. You are going to adapt the product that you're manufacturing in India a little differently to send to South Africa, so that you are adapting to our market here in South Africa. So you need also to invest a lot of not only money but time into researching, investing, knowing the customer, knowing the consumer, knowing their likes, knowing their dislikes, knowing about the different ethnic communities, which we have a lot of. Oh, we've got a lot of ethnic communities in South Africa. And also factors before you can take your product to the market or to the host country. Okay. So global marketing branding also is integrated with the global marketing in this here. So your marketing strategy or your branding strategy has to be integrated. So if you want to bring something from India to South Africa, so let's talk about Indian hair oil. Like the oil that's used for your Indian hair. So when you do your adverts and your advertising campaigns, you're usually using like models, like Indian models and that kind of thing in India. So now if you're bringing Indian oil to the South African market, so 80% of our market in South Africa is like the black market. The hair is different. So somewhere in your marketing campaign and in your advertising, maybe you put in like, a black model in there, because their hair is different. Then that shows that you have done some research. You are kind of like adapting to the community here. But because if you're only gonna just sending like your adverts from India, then they're gonna say, oh, but this product is not ready for us. We are 80% black. We don't have Indian hair. And then they say, okay, so this is not for us. So that is why you've got to be, it's so important to take into consideration the ethnicity and all of that of the host country. Okay. And the branding as well. The branding communication is you modify it, you throw in your vision, your mission statement, and all of that when you go globally. So that is kind of like the idea of the process of global marketing. These are the things that you will take into consideration when you are going global, when you want to do business in other country. Okay, so now I've said like a mouthful now. So there must be some questions or comments, guys.
No, ma'am.
No questions. You know everything.
Mm,
You understand everything. Yes, no? You understand everything so far? Is it pretty simple to understand? It is? Okay, right. So now you want to do a global marketing campaign. Okay. So I am telling you now, so we have a 1.5% population, Indian population here, and we love the Indian sweets, the Indian clothes, the pickles, the masalas, everything. So I want you now to bring it to South Africa. And I want you now to do a global marketing campaign. So now you have got to adapt all of that to the South African market. Okay. So it is already considered that if a company is marketing itself globally, it means you need to base locally where your first stage of the product is launched. Okay. You need to have acceptance of the local market, and also you need to develop a global marketing campaign, and keep in mind that your product is unique, yes, but you are adapting it to a global market. So it's kind of like you need to tailor make it to us. So whatever you're doing there, so like just say for the spices, like the masalas, So if you're sending it like to the African market, you're not going to have so much of chili because people are not going to be able to eat it. So your product needs to be adapted and tailor made to the specific market. Okay, I hope you guys are understanding this. Okay. And again, just like with the process of global marketing, you must have your global market knowledge. Know your market, know your customer, know everything about them, the ethnicity, everything about your local market in the host country. Draft a marketing plan. You just can't go and understand. Okay, fine. So I'm now going to just send a thousand of each variety of product to South Africa and expect it just to sell. No, you got to devise a marketing plan, A, B, C, D. Strategize, put it in place, put a plan in place, and then be able uh, to do the marketing campaign. So you've got to have a marketing plan. You just can't do it out of the top of your head and think it's going to work. It doesn't work like that. Okay. Your brand customization. Basically, you guys know your brand is you. My brand is me. I'm CGM. My brand is me. There can be no one in the world like me. There can be a million companies doing exactly what I'm doing, but they can't do it the way I do it. They will never be able to explain the way I'm explaining it, or the way I'm conducting my lectures or whatever it is that I'm going to do. So we all have our own unique brand, and your unique brand, when you are going global, must be able to sell you to the host country and the host market. Right. Local communication is so important. If you want to come to to a country like us, and you just say you want to localize your products in Cape Town, for example, you've really got to be able to communicate. So you need to find someone in Cape Town. So like for example, you're communicating with me. You want to go into marketing in Cape Town, globally. You want to get a local person, a local contact, and you say, okay, fine, we know Charmaine, she's in Cape Town, she's going to let us know everything about the local market. She's going to give us everything that we need to know in order to develop that the entire communication plan that we need to do business in Cape Town. Right. And then of course, again, like with the process of marketing, you're also going to now go again and get the permissions of the local market. There's so many things. I mean, even if I have to do business, I have to do local registration, so there's a lot of things that you need to do. There's licensing, there's, like, for example, you want to sell wines and whatever there's so much legislation around all of that. So you need to adapt and ensure you've got all of those in place, so that when you bring your business over, you have now at least got all the permission, you've got the licenses, and then you are ready to roll. Okay. Comments? Anything you guys want to know? Comments, questions? Nope. We're almost at the end, actually.
Anyone wants to, ask anything, you can ask it.
And you must ask, because one day when you decide to do your own business, the Indian market isn't going to be enough. You're going to have to take your business global. And that's the thing about what's happening in the current pandemic. India is open to everything now. South Africa is open. Basically, the whole world has been open to everything. But touch wood, and hope not that there's going to be another variant. If there's another variant of the coronavirus, then again, all the countries are going to be shutting down and businesses are going to shutting down. So in order for you to exist and to sustain and to still operate as a business, you need to have plans in place. You need to think global as well, and not only just local. You don't want to have everything that the Made in India campaign has. So India has saturated itself within itself. It's got so much of products, and now it's sitting with all of these products, and now they need to get it overseas. But here comes COVID, and they haven't worked on a plan B, C, and D, and they're sitting with all of it. So marketing is so important, and going global is so important, that you just need you need all of this info to sustain yourself. So nobody wants to open their own business? No, you want to stay there? You want to do something else? You want to work for the boss?
They are just, trying to realize that they are in the classroom today after 2 years or so, because they are
Oh
mostly
my
because they were attending everything in online mode. From today
I
only,
know.
India have started everything offline, schools, colleges,
Offline, yes. Yes,
and
no, we
and
too. We started last week. Yes, absolutely. No, okay, no problem. So the last part of the last part of the global marketing is the internet, and that is something that every one of you know that even when we were in the pandemic, every country had closed its borders, they were shut down. But how did we communicate with I communicated with my friends in India. I had the internet. You know, the internet is like one of is our mode. It's our greatest, biggest mode. Sorry for the background noise. Is the greatest mode of communication across the globe. The internet. So the internet has brought in every single way for us to do business, to communicate. Okay, it influences the price mix of your marketing strategy. It improves your prices. You can do online transactions. You can chop and change. You change your pricing as per country specific. You do commoditization. You do dynamics around pricing and all of that. Okay, and also so the top benefits of internet marketing is that with internet you have an entire global reach. You can reach across the globe with the internet. There's just no way that you cannot reach even the tiniest country on the planet. You can reach it because we have got the internet, we've got data, we've got networks, we've got everything. So that platform is there for us, and we should be grateful because I could never communicate with friends of mine in India or family or wherever. Now with the internet, you just get onto Zoom and you're just chatting away. Everything's a click of the button. Okay. So then we have the demographic targeting, the demographics of the local areas. You just have to click onto your computer. If you don't know South Africa or you don't know what a beautiful place Cape Town is, you punch it in onto your computer and you click, and there you open and you will see everything in South Africa. You can see the whole geographic and demographic of the institutions of where you want to operate. Because of internet marketing also now costs have become low. With snail mail, the cost is so high of transactions. Now, with a click of a button, you can do an online transaction. It's costing you so much less. Okay? 24/7 marketing, 24/7 communication. While you are asleep, Google is just busy with its ads. When you wake up in the morning, you switch on your phone or your PC, all Google's ads, are on there because they are operating 24/7. Okay. You are able to build business relationships. You are able to build personal relationships. You just can communicate with anything, anyone, any business, anywhere in the world, 24/7, 365. It's just an amazing, amazing world out there that the internet has created for us. Okay. Data collection. You want to do business in Africa. You want to do business in other small countries. You just go on into the internet. You can get data. You can draw statistics. You know exactly what percentage are males, what percentage are females, what percentage different age group. You can draw statistics. You can collect data. It's just so amazing. Okay, automation. Wonderful. You want to streamline your processes. You want to automate them. You want to automate your HR processes. You don't want HR. I mean, 2 years we've all been at home. You want to streamline your processes because now there's no more communication. Everything you automate. It's absolutely wonderful. It's just so easy and so simplified. You want to track your business. You want to track what's happening in other countries. Click of the button. The internet is there. You just click and you track. So those are some of the benefits of having the internet assist us in our global transactions and in our global business. It's just so amazing what the internet has done. Right. So I have come to the end of the presentation that I wanted to do. Do you guys have any questions or anything like that? Or maybe I must just tell you about my little company that I have, tiny little company. So I opened CGM training and consulting because I wanted to do business education. So I started locally in South Africa, and then I decided, but I can do so much more with this. And especially with what happened with the COVID, it was amazing to go global, because then all I did was communicate. I communicated with universities, colleges, institutions in India, and said, this is my profile, this is who I am, this is what I can do, this is how I can help you. Look at it. See if you think I fit in with your vision and the mission of your organization. I'm available. And then it was a bit slow initially. I think the beginning of 2020 had maybe like 5 organizations, and then it grew a bit. This year it's taken off like a rocket. I just said to someone last night, a professor at in India, on Friday I got 11 invitations to do lectures, to do what do you call it, symposiums, and I mean, I even got a guy in America who says, I love what you did with the global, with your symposium. Can you please arrange a leadership symposium? How much do you want me to pay you? So when you do business, the very important thing is that you need to create a reputation of yourself. You must do legal, you must do good business, you must be able to communicate, and you must have something which is so important, which is mutual respect and mutual trust for whoever you're dealing business with, whether it's just only in India or whether it is globally. That is so important. And your brand is who you are. You must be able to deliver. I can't say to you, okay, I'm going to deliver the lecture. Okay, so this morning I had a few glitches because I didn't realize that when I was busy with all of these emails that I created 4 different Zoom invites for today's session. And every one I clicked into was the wrong one. So you've got to have that mutual respect. And like I told Prof Anuj sir, and I said, I'm so sorry, I just kept clicking into the wrong one. So you've got to have that communication and that understanding and be able to deliver. Don't say I'm going to do the lecture and then you just don't teach up, you just forget about it. Doesn't work like that. That respect for your host country or whoever you're doing business is just very, very important, because if you don't gain respect of your customers and of your organization that you're working with, they will just decide, okay, I don't need CGM training and consulting. Let me just use another firm. There's like a million billion other firms out there that they can use. So you yourself just need to create that rapport, that communication, that mutual trust and respect with that company, and that is how you go global. You are your brand. What I say is what I do. I must deliver. And that is also very much part of the global marketing, entire marketing campaign. You cannot say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. And if you've done something, you've done a campaign, it's not working, you go back, you work on the campaign, you improve it. Whatever issues there were in that campaign, you work on it, you improve it, and then you do it over again. You try again, and you don't give up trying. You have to have the mindset of constantly adapting everything in business to suit the customer and the global market. And when companies do not have the ability to adapt, then those are the companies that are not going to survive. Those are the companies that are going to shut down. Those are the companies that didn't have in place a plan B, C, B and C. They've only just had one plan on global marketing, and that is what they thought. It didn't work. So those are the guys that lost out in COVID. They didn't have an alternative plan in place. So that's so important for global marketing. Plan A doesn't work, go plan B, C, and D. So that's all I want to say. And I hope it was like informative. You enjoyed it. If you want to have more information or you want me to send this presentation, I can do that. And yes, so that's basically it. Is there anything else I can say or answer?